Hello everyone, in this video I'll show you how to calculate average or mean in Excel. So it's very easy to calculate average of numbers if you're using Excel spreadsheet, right? So firstly I'll show you in a format where data is presented in rows, right? These are the rows, so rows 3 and 4. So there's some example data that I've input into these cells here, and that's the average calculation which I've done already, right? Now in order to calculate the average of these numbers here, 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, all you need to do is in the selected cell, right, where you want to display the average calculation, you press the equal sign, type in average, open bracket, press and hold shift, and you can move your mouse pointer and select all the data that's supposed to be included in this average calculation, right? So first, my first data is 10 and I want to have 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now I can't see 6 here, but you can easily select that if you keep pressing and holding on shift, and once you've selected your first data here, which I've done with my mouse pointer, now I'll just press the right hand arrow key right on my keyboard to select all the data, and then input close bracket and press enter, and that's the average of these 5 numbers, right? 5.6. so that's when data is presented in rows. Now sometimes you have data presented in a column, and again it's a similar procedure, it's just that the presentation is by column, right? So in this cell I want to present or display the average calculation, so I'll press the equal sign, again I'll type in average, open bracket, the first data I want is number 10, and now I'm pressing and holding on the shift key on my keyboard, and I'm pressing the down arrow key on my keyboard to select all the data, and I'll press equal, right? So you see the answer is both the same. Now sometimes what happens is data may be presented in cells that are not in the same row or column, right? So say for example if data was presented like this, right? So I have got 10 up here, I've got 3 down here, I've got 4 here, I've got 5 and 6 here. Say if I wanted to display average in this cell here. Now if I use or try and use the average formula, there is no option, right, really, unless I select all these cells, right? If I selected all the cells, I'll show you again, right? So you see the blue lines, I need to select all these cells in order to calculate the average of these numbers that are in their particular cells, right? Now sometimes obviously that's not possible if you have a lot of calculations and numbers everywhere. So the easiest way I found to tackle this issue is pretty much you press the equal sign and you're pretty much doing a manual calculation. That means you'll be adding all the numbers and dividing it by the amount of numbers there are, right, which is the average formula. So make sure you put an open bracket, choose the data that you need to add, right? So the formula to calculate average is you add all the numbers divided by the number of pretty much the numbers that are there in the set, right? So I'll have 10 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 close bracket, and the forward slash is the division sign or the division function in Excel, right? So you input that divided by, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, so I'll divide that by 5 and it gives you the same answer as it did when we were trying to calculate in rows or in columns, right? So the answer is still correct, it's just that we had to input the formula manually, right? And that's what you can do when you have or when you need to select data from different cells that are not in the same row or column, right? And that is it. That's how you can calculate average in an Excel spreadsheet. Thank you very much for watching. Please share and subscribe for more.